Rebecca Butler, placing the endotracheal tube on a canine patient. So we have our patient being pre-oxygenized with the tube here, and then we're going to have two tubes. I have both a 9.5 and a 10. Because we are a brachiocephalic breed, we might err on the side of the smaller one, but we'll see what our airway looks like once we get in there. As far as measurements go, we'll go ahead and measure the tube against the patient when you lift their head up and go from the thoracic inlet to the tip of the snoot. Both tubes should not need to be altered in any way. We have not yet induced our patient, so what we will plan on doing is checking the cuffs on our ET tubes first, just making sure that there's no leaks in the cuffs. So let's see, perhaps on a 10. That's holding air, so it's not going to leak. We're going to make sure we get all the air out of the balloon so that it doesn't cause any abrasion against the trachea if necessary. So we'll put our tube aside. I do have some sterile lubricant which we will use to help lubricate the end of the tube. And we're going to go ahead and start inducing our patient. We're going to be using a propofol. First I'm going to flush the catheter just to make sure it is still patent. Single-handed recapping. Alright, go ahead and use our propofol. We're only going to induce into effect. And we want to titrate. what I'm going to do is go ahead and get some of my sterile lubricant. I'm going to just drop it onto the package of the ET tube, and then I'll just run the distal end of the ET tube through that. I'm going to go ahead and tie my string around my ET tube. Because of the length of this particular tube and this patient's size, I'm just going to put the string just above where the balloon attaches. And then go ahead and run the end of this through the sterile lubricant, just so that it more easily glides into the patient. I have my laryngoscope. Next is we're going to go ahead and attach the patient to oxygen, and we're going to listen for any leaking around the tube by giving the patient a few breaths. And typically you close your pop-up valve. We have a safe side button, so we will be depressing that button to achieve the same effect. I'm going to take an air-filled syringe, attach it to the balloon. I'm going to have my assistant give breath. Alright, I hear air. And air. I'm going to slowly start to inflate the balloon. We're going to listen again. Still have a little bit of air leaking around, so I'm going to go ahead and inflate a little bit more. Okay. Tiny bit of air still. Now we're going to listen to the lung field. Alright, I hear lung sounds on both sides, and with that our patient is now properly intubated, and we will go ahead and turn him on ISO and begin our procedure.